Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kelly Michelle. Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Kelly Michelle. Today's segment is titled Tuesday Thoughts. That's when I choose a quote or something inspirational that I share with you all, and I simply share my thoughts about the thought of the day. So let me grab my phone so that I don't make a mistake and misquote someone and tell you today's thought. So today's thought comes from Khalid Imran. When people see commitments are met with consistency, they tend to develop trust. Trust is the key to persuasion. So let's unpack that a little bit. You see a couple of things that Khalid has said. First, he says commitments are met with consistency, and then consistency leads to trust. I think that that is so important, and I definitely agree with that sentiment, is that when people see that, first of all, you're committed to something, and then you're consistent with what you're committed to do. So let's use an example of consistency and working out. For most of us, health and fitness probably are something that are either important to us, or we can at least acknowledge that those things are important. We want to live a long life, so therefore we have to be healthy, we have to eat right, we have to exercise, we have to do those things that help us to live a long life. So first we have to make a commitment to do the actions that help to further our health. But it's not just about making a commitment to do something, it's being consistent in that commitment. So I can't just say, oh, I commit to be fit. I commit to drinking water. I can commit to it, but until I actually turn that commitment into a specific action and I'm consistent with it, then I won't see the results that I want. But when we're talking specifically and what this quote is about, and that's just a generalization about commitment and consistency, we're talking specifically about people. So when you make a commitment to a person and you're consistent with that commitment, that develops trust. I mean, think about the relationships that you have. We all have lots of different relationships in our life. It could be a parent-child relationship, it could be a sibling relationship, it could be a spousal relationship. When you see that that person that you are in relationship with, whatever kind of relationship it is, makes a commitment and is consistent with that commitment, then you can have trust with that person. You begin to rely on that person. You begin to believe what it is that they're saying. Why? Because they have shown consistency. And then it says, trust is the key to persuasion. And I really wanted to zoom in to really talk about trust is the key to persuasion. I thought that was such a good thing. I had never really heard that before. Not like it's not a new concept, but just in the context of this quote. And I think it's very true. When you feel like you trust someone and you trust their word, you trust their consistency, you trust who they are, then you feel a level of comfort with them and believing what they're saying, but also too, you can be persuaded. So when you trust someone, you can persuade them in their actions. So for example, if you think about a father and a daughter, or a father and a son, a mother and a daughter, a mother and a son relationship, if their mother or their father has been consistent and proves themselves to be trustworthy, then their kids can be persuaded to do something. The example that comes to mind is, say a child is at the playground and their parent, you know, is down, and it's maybe they're like 2 or 3 years old. They're down at the bottom of the slide, and the child is at the top of the jungle gym, and their parent is at the bottom of the slide, and that child has never been in a slide before. And so the parent is like telling that child, come on, come down the slide, you can do it. And their child is like, I can't do it, I don't want to do it, I'm afraid. And that parent continues to coax them and to encourage them to come down that slide. And then the child eventually does come down that slide. Why did the child come down that slide? Because they trusted their parent, because they knew that their parent was committed and consistently proved that they had their best interest in mind, and that they wouldn't have them do anything that would be detrimental or hurtful to them. And that is why the parent was able to persuade their child to go down the slide. And I know that that is a very simple and maybe seems very elementary as far as an example goes, but just like a child is able to trust because of consistency and commitment that a parent has, it's the same concept of how, you know, we're able to trust. When we see in different relationships that we have, in business relationships and personal relationships, and relationships big or small, we are able to be persuaded to do different things because of the level of trust that we have and the consistency and the commitment from that other person. So that's today's Tuesday Thoughts. Those are my thoughts about today's inspirational quote. Of course, I want to hear from you. So please share with me your thoughts in the comment section below. What are some ways that you have shown consistency and which has worked in your favor to persuade someone else because they trust you? I want to hear from you. And as always, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.